Up Real Estate here on a Wednesday morning. It's What's Working Wednesday, and we have a guest who will be sharing what's working for her right now. So excited for that. This is something new that we're going to be doing on the show, where we'll bring on more guests, because I'm sure all of you, at least at times, get sick of hearing just from Ryan and I. If you would do us a huge favor and please like, comment, subscribe, share, smash the bell, all those fun things. If you're getting value from the topics that we dig into and what we share on a daily basis, please share the love. We've got a social post of the day. Ryan already has that teed up. While he's bringing that up, the show, as always, is brought to you by justsold.com, powered by thanks.io, and our mortgage team at NEXA Mortgage. We had a great info session yesterday talking about down payment assistance and some incredible programs that you can use right now to help buyers purchase a home before the end of the year, maybe, or this winter for sure, and get some things going and activity going in your pipeline. We gave very specific examples. There were some great resources in there and some action items, like 3 things you could do with that information to get yourself some activity going as well. One of them being our text and email scripts from yesterday, but some other ideas in there for you as well. And combined with that, we had talked about the loan limit increases being announced sometime this week. They were announced. They are increased. And for example, FHA, it's almost $750,000. So FHA, the 5% DPA, like in most areas, if you've got somebody, a qualified borrower, that means they might be able to buy a new construction home with 0 down payment. Okay. So get out there and proactively play the role of transaction engineer. Good stuff on that front. You can check that out. It's on the wakeup.realestate. It's also on the YouTube channel. Check out the description for the resources, etc. Ryan, what do you got for the social post for today?
Yeah, and a good social post. We didn't do this one. It would be to just post the loan limit in your area as a post, just to let people know what that is. This is I was having trouble finding a property list today, so I went the joke route, Josh. You can do this in any market. So I went for a list of properties that does not exist in my market here in Florida, and that is properties, St. Pete, Florida homes with basements. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I saw basement in the search filters, and you can click here to get the link if you want to.
Okay. For those of you listening on audio only, you have to go to the video. Go to the video feed and just watch. You'll get a little chuckle if you're at least of a certain age anyway. So Ryan playing the an April Fool's joke, not limited to April Fools, right? There are not homes with basements in St. Pete. On the contrary, the majority of homes here in Central PA do have basements, right?
Yeah, but go with the clickbait. You probably don't have beachfront views. Right.
Yeah. There you go. Homes with beachfront views.
So I'm sure it'll get clicks and chuckles, and that's what we're trying to do here, right? It's just
exactly just make some folks smile. Make some folks smile. So good stuff. Thanks for that. All right. Now to what everybody came for, which is our special guest, Daphne Bousquet. Now she's got Atlanta, Georgia there, but her primary service area is Fayette County, Georgia, which is like
the southern crescent of Atlanta. So Fayette County, Coweta County, that entire area.
Yeah. So send her your referrals down that way if you have folks looking, and we'll share with you how you can find Daphne on socials, etc. That's part of the What's Working Now that I had planned to share. Daphne has been part of my EXP organization now for several years. She's been licensed. How long have you been licensed?
7 years.
7 years. Also, fun fact, Daphne is represented her country of origin in the Olympics. We won't say how long ago, but you can look that up. You can find that. You can find that on the Googles and check that out. But the reason why I asked Daphne on for this first session is I had several things that are topics that come up, either some of them very frequently, some of them infrequently, but things that I know, activities that I know Daphne is doing on a regular basis. And it, at least on some level, is working for her, and it might be an encouragement for some of you to get back to some of these activities or to double down on some of them. So Daphne, before I get to my ideas, are there anything, or is there anything in particular that you wanted to share with everyone that is working now for you?
Well, my main thing is YouTube. YouTube all day, every day, because I started this in 2020, and my YouTube channel is not huge. I mean, I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I don't have massive amount of views, but I regularly get calls from people who've been watching my videos for sometimes years before they're ready to pull the trigger and finally like contact me and say, hey, we've been watching your videos for a long time, and we're ready to go.
Thank you, Ryan, for pulling that up for everybody that wants to go check out Daphne's channel there
and subscribe.
And subscribe. And please, if you go and check out her videos, watch the entire video. I knew Daphne was going to say that. Don't mess with her watch time, time percentage.
The algorithm is a big thing in YouTube. So you have to let YouTube do its thing. But, you know, it's right now, you see all those videos I have, those are little marketing robots for me. They work for me 24/7. And you just don't get that on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, you know, when you spend a lot of time doing that. And, you know, you have to post every day and it's gone within 24 hours, unless, you know, they're there. Those videos are there for forever, hopefully, unless
they're more evergreen in nature. They're more, they're assets that live on, you know, theoretically forever. Or
I mean, and
certainly
I
have a longer
too, you know?
shelf life than other platforms.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, and they're searchable. So that is the main thing, you know, like when people search for Fayetteville, Georgia, 9 times out of 10, they're going to get served one of my videos.
Yeah. So you've
Peachtree
been
City,
committed on sub level to this since 2020. So been building the channel since 2020. Some encouragement to those out there. Even though she doesn't have thousands of subscribers, you said how many do you have?
It was 890 something.
Yeah.
And yet she consistently is getting new clients that are already predispositioned to working with Daphne. In other words, Daphne doesn't really have to do any selling or overcome objections or things of that nature. They're already open to doing business with her because in most cases, they've already spent a great deal of time with her. It's just that they were spending time with her video robots, working on her behalf.
It's a parasocial relationship, right? They feel like they know you, because you have to be authentic in those, you know, in those videos. I mean, you don't want to do a whole persona, but after watching 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 videos, they feel like they know you and that you know your stuff. So why look somewhere else, right?
And I know this, but for those wondering, many of those clients are at, above, or below your average price range.
Oh, they're most definitely above the median price range in my area, which is not that low either. So it has pulled up my average sales price quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay, so for those wondering, let's get into a little bit of the tactics. As far as video content, maybe share a couple of tools and resources. And then the second question I want to ask is, are there certain types of videos or video topics that you've seen work better than others?
Well, so these videos mainly target buyers, right? Because the buyers are the ones that are searching for neighborhoods, for places to live. If they're moving from out of state, they're searching the different cities. So that is the strategy here. So most of the people that I help are moving from out of state. Sometimes they're moving from different parts of Atlanta, but they are doing the research on YouTube. So the big videos that hit really hard, that work really well, are the pros and cons of a certain area,
So
suburb,
pros and
or
cons videos.
pros and cons, 10 reasons not to move here, cost of living, those types of videos are very big. And I do also a lot of uh, neighborhood tours.
Yeah.
And while those are not necessarily well watched, the people that do watch it are interested, right?
Yeah.
They are seriously researching neighborhoods to move to.
Yeah.
So they are watching those drive-through videos like that of different subdivisions, and listening to, okay, so what is the HOA like? Does it have amenities? What does it look like? And they'll just watch those.
Yeah.
So even though they don't get a lot of views, they're very powerful. And sometimes you get one of those videos that, like one of those neighborhood tours that doesn't get a whole lot of views, but man, you get a lot of phone calls from them, and those are the ones you want.
Well, that's what I was going to say. All it takes is one view to get a client, right? Now, that doesn't mean that one view will get a client, but that's all it takes. So some things, if this is a strategy or a marketing channel that you've been thinking about or dabbling with, some encouragements for you. Number one, you don't have to have a lot of subscribers to pick up clients. Number two, you don't have to have a lot of views of your videos to pick up clients. Okay. You do need to show your expertise, right? You need to demonstrate that you know what you're talking about and you know the area, etc. But beyond that, it's really, when you think about the average client value from a commission perspective, the deck is stacked significantly in your favor to make this work. Brian, were you trying to say something there? Sorry.
Oh no, just that consistency seems to be the biggest thing here that Daphne's got going.
Absolutely.
To that end, go ahead, Daphne.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't posted. Okay, so I've only posted twice in the last month. I've missed a couple of weeks, a week, so like I've posted every 2 weeks instead of every week. And I can tell that, like my the amount of people that have watched has gone down because, they watch my new videos mostly. But other than that, it stays pretty steady. It's also not an immediate thing, right? It's not like you can post 3 videos and just start getting business. It is a long game.
Okay,
it takes a little bit.
So, to that end, to help with the consistency and the creation, etc., what would be your favorite tools or preferred, resources when it comes to creating your content?
My trusty iPhone.
Okay, that's encouraging.
Yeah, I mean, I have a phone, a ring light. I mean, I do have a green screen and and some lights. But honestly, if you have a decent background, you can use that. Get a couple of lights, a ring light. That will work just fine. I do have a gimbal that I mount my phone to, and frankly, I just hang it out the window as I am, driving. Probably not.
That's for home tours, right, or neighborhood tours?
Yeah,
right?
neighborhood tours.
Neighborhood tour. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do this out in the big streets. I mean, like just little subdivisions.
Sure.
I'm not going downtown Fayetteville with my gimbal out the window. That's that's not safe. Don't do that.
What about editing?
I use WeVideo.
Okay.
So yeah, I just dump everything WeVideo. I use Big View. The
That's
the
a teleprompter
teleprompter
app, right? Okay.
to do my talking head videos. So that makes it just super easy. I mean, I just I write out the script, which I use Chat GPT for a little bit of it, but Chat GPT just really doesn't know how to write in my voice. It doesn't matter how many great prompts I give it. So I end up rewriting it anyway, but it's good for bullet points, whatever. And that's pretty much it. I use Canva somewhat if I can't find the, I use Canva for the thumbnails because thumbnails are big.
Yeah.
Those are really important because those are the ones that, you know, induce people to actually click on your video.
I like the O faces and the shocked. You're following the YouTube playlist. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you gotta, those are the ones that people will click on.
Yep.
You have to make yourself big.
For those that are interested, where would you, from a learning perspective, what would be some resources that you would point people to? Who or what resources would you point people to if they're interested in building out a YouTube channel and using that as a strategy for themselves?
There are some great courses. I used Karen Carr's YouTube for agents. Some other people that you might want to follow that have great courses are Malcolm Lawson, Christina Smallhorn, Business Video School is also a very good one because they will get you anything about videos specifically for real estate agents. They are really good. They will teach you about lighting, and they have like different scripts, like they'll give you a weekly video script. So there's a ton of stuff in there, which is
my encouragement would be, if this is a strategy that resonates with you, you commit to doing it for like all of 2024, or better yet, commit to it forever, for the foreseeable future. Don't set a timeline. Don't this is not a strategy where you can say, I'm going to try this for a quarter and then decide at the end of the quarter whether or not to proceed, because you may have success in that small time frame, or you may not. But consistently doing it is how Daphne has gotten to a place where she's more efficient, she's more effective, she's tried different things, etc. But you can't start from that place. The only way to get to that place is doing the work consistently and over time. And Daphne is not. She admitted already she's not perfect. Ideally, Daphne, you would be publishing a video once a week. Is that fair?
Yeah, well, ideally, I would actually be a batch recording and shipping it off to an editor. But I am one of those just-in-time people. So I usually publish on Monday before noon, and most of the times I'm like editing on Sunday or Monday. I'm shooting it on Sunday. Whatever. But you do what you have to do.
All of this is an encouragement, right? It doesn't have to be perfect.
No.
And you can mess up the consistency. But if you just make progress over the long term, you can see that trend in the right direction.
I have to tell you, don't be afraid to suck. Because I'm telling you, those first videos are going to be bad, but nobody's going to see them. So don't worry about it. Just post them. Just and you'll get better every single time. Every single time you'll get better. And you'll learn. I'm still learning. I mean, look at behind me. I need a studio. I need something better so that I don't have a green screen and I have a green halo around me. I mean, and my lighting needs to be better. There's so many things that I can improve on. But as long as people, call me, I'm fine. It's all good.
It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to make progress.
Right. The one thing that I wish I would have done, because I thought, start small, you can expand. So I started concentrating on my market, Fayette County, um, the southern part of Atlanta. If I could do it all over again, I would start with Atlanta, having my keyword Atlanta, and still do the same content, but focusing more on like the whole Atlanta market, because people search for Atlanta. They don't necessarily search for
That's a
Fayetteville.
good takeaway, right? So
So
would the takeaway be find your major metro, build it around that, and then you can niche outside of that
yes,
as an offshoot. So, like for example, for me, I would probably build around Harrisburg, but then I can talk about the
right.
surrounding suburbs a little bit more, because Harrisburg, although still not as well known, let's say, as Atlanta, of the area, that would be the most well known city, let's say.
Because I started with a probably some other people in the Atlanta area. Of course, they're on the north side, because the north side of Atlanta
Yeah.
is actually where I'm. We have like 100,000 households in my county. I mean, it's small.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would cast a bigger net.
Yeah.
For sure.
So a couple of great questions, and you can post your questions in the comments. Chris asked, for your videos, what phone number do you post? And I think this is an idea, like she's trying to, do you use some fancy number so you can track it, or do you do anything other than, well, I'll just let you answer.
I use my normal phone number. Everybody's got it. Same phone number for everything. Trust me, when people call me out of the blue, I know they're from YouTube. So it's not.
And you can ask, right?
Yeah.
You have a conversation. And if you get good at, if this is someone you've not talked to, you don't know, I would get into the habit of saying, "I'm just curious, what prompted you to call me?"
Oh,
right?
Trust me. The first thing they'll say is like, "Oh yeah, we found you on YouTube," or "I can't believe you're actually answering the phone. Is this really Daphne? Is this?"
Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's
And
great. I love it.
that's a wonderful thing to have, for sure. Besides just posting videos to your channel, what else do you do specifically with that content, if anything, to quote unquote get it out there?
Okay, so YouTube, rely on the YouTube algorithm. The algorithm is your best friend. What you do not want to do is post links to your videos in other social media, because that will screw it up. Because a lot of people will click and then they think, oh yeah, I really didn't want that, and click back, and that messes with your watch time, your algorithm. Don't do that. Let people discover your videos, and YouTube will push it out.
Yeah,
To the
totally.
right people. Google
Quick off topic, Mark,
is pretty good.
reach out to Ryan. We've got somebody that can handle a referral there in Brandon. That might be Andre or somebody else.
Yeah.
So a couple of other things that I want to dig into. Well, I guess before we pivot to a couple of other just maybe shorter topics, anything else for those listening that they should be aware of, or that would be useful when it comes to the idea of generating clients with a YouTube channel?
Well, don't be afraid to chop up your videos and post them on the other socials. Don't put your link on on Facebook or anything, but you can definitely take clips and stick them on Instagram and TikTok and all those other platforms and get discovered that way.
Chris also says, I've also heard it's not a good idea to run YouTube ads. Use organic search. I don't know what that
Algorithm. Yeah.
Algo. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I have run ads, honestly. But I mainly do it for my market updates, kind to reach the homeowners in my area.
Yeah. Okay.
And only like $1 a day for a few weeks. So
because the ad messes with your watch time as well. That's the point.
But what I do is I promote it on the side, like not in stream, because then you have like the 5 seconds and people, people will click away. But if it's in stream, then if it's like on the side, they see your thumbnail, they see your title, they'll click on it, and that's, I think that's better.
I have two other topics. One I think is just fun and out of my curiosity, and one ties off of something that we talk about often. So the first one is, I know that you've had a few TikTok remix videos go viral. So maybe share that. And have there been any business opportunities that have come from it, or is it just kind of fun?
It's kind of fun. So one of my videos actually, as of this morning, had 1.8 million views.
Wow.
Just wild.
Yeah.
And people are arguing in the like in the comments, because it's probably a little older video, like from 2019 or whatever, but it is one of the perks of home ownership, and it's about deducting interest rates, and this guy goes through all the math of owning a home and stuff. I mean, it's cool, and I just do edit it, and I shake my hand and like, oh yeah, make some things. And of course you have a lot of people that wouldn't own a home if their life depended on it, and how stupid it is to pay so much interest. And hey, I'm not going to argue with them. If that's what they think, have at it. But other people start arguing in the comments on, yeah, you can't do this, but then there's also people who ask questions. So then you go in and record a video, like you answer the question in a video, and that gets pushed out. I mean, it's not a million, by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a few thousand views. I mean, it's great, especially since before this, I was hovering over, like 200 views. I mean, I had less than 100 followers. Now I have like 1,400. I mean, it's nothing huge, and I'm definitely not consistent, but it was fun.
Well, if you're curious on those, you can go find Daphne on TikTok and check out the duet videos. Make sure you follow her there. More fun than anything, right? Not necessarily directly leading to business in the same form or fashion than the YouTube channel.
It's a different audience. It's totally different. I mean, I'm not saying that I won't get business from it at some point, but I'd have to be a heck of a lot more consistent.
And it's probably harder to do local on TikTok. Is that fair to say, or do I have that wrong?
You can still do local.
Okay.
I know that there's a girl and a realtor in my market that does a lot of local content.
Okay.
And I think I'm pretty sure she gets some business from it. She gets recognized at the store. I don't.
You can location target, and I have some location. I have like some videos I've done about small businesses in particular areas that have at least gotten some traction as far as like views, etc. I don't know that I can directly attribute business to, but I have generated business from TikTok. Some of that, I will say transparently, are borrowers not in my market that then I can refer to my mortgage team, right? So the locally targeted, I don't know that that's the best place yet. But
unless you run an ad at it, which you can do with TikTok.
That too. Yeah. All right. One quick thing I saw somebody messaged to mention again. WeVideo is what Daphne uses for editing. Okay, WeVideo. Somebody missed that. Last thing I had, Daphne, is something that we talk about often, which is sending a weekly email newsletter. And I have recently sort of done an overhaul of my process, or an update to my process, which I mentioned yesterday. For those interested, if you're interested and you want to follow the path that I'm using for my weekly email newsletter, we can get your setup, your list clean, and even your initial template set up for you. And all we ask is that you use my affiliate link for Get Response, which is what I'm using to send that. You can email Mike, or if you go to growwithjosh.com/GR. But the reason why I bring it up is I'm pretty certain, Daphne, that you are pretty good about sending out a weekly email. So what is yours? How do you send that? And maybe, encourage some folks with some details on that.
Okay, so yeah, I've been doing this for years and years. I mean, I've been in the business for 7 years. I've probably been doing this for 6 of them, very consistently. I do not miss a week. Maybe Christmas, or maybe if I'm like really on vacation, summer vacation, but even then, a lot of times I still get it out. And I call it used to be my Fayette 5 on Friday.
Oh,
But
nice.
now since I've expanded beyond Fayette, it's the South Side 6. And no, it's not on Saturday. It's still on Friday.
Daphne shares my same affinity for alliterations.
Absolutely. Yep. Love my alliteration. So the 6 items are 4 events that are going on that weekend in the whole Southern Crescent. And if I have a lot, then I might batch them, like, okay, you have these markets, I might have 3 or 4 markets, or whatever. So if there's a ton of tree lighting, like there might be this weekend, I may have I'll just batch the tree lightings and then have some other
What you're saying
items.
is all of the tree lightings is like one event, in other words. So
Right.
there's
If
a
I
bunch
have
of
a
tree
lot,
lightings going on here, and here. That's one thing, basically.
yes. If I don't have, if I have a ton of them,
Right.
otherwise they'll just be um, their own thing.
Yeah.
Then I always have a market update. Okay, so what happened in the last 7 days in the different counties, actives, under contracts, sold, median sales price, days on market, that kind of stuff. And then I do a little analysis so that my interpretation of the market. So you have to put your expertise in there. You cannot just give them numbers and uh, you have to tell them what to think. Plus, you
Right.
have to display some kind of value. And
Yep.
then the last one is pretty much about me. So that can be a listing that I have, or my latest YouTube video, if it's relevant to my local market.
Yeah.
If it's not, then I'm not putting it in. So
And this
market
is
update.
video. Do you do is this by video every week? Is this by
No, that could
text?
be the video, like the YouTube video, or no, it's all, um, or it might be an open house that I'm hosting, or and with a call to action,
Yeah.
something that has a call to action. So, but
Perfect.
you never know how it really hits until, like a couple of weeks ago, one of my clients, she's like, I didn't get your newsletter this week. I know we bought our house like a year ago. Is that like the cutoff that all of a sudden I don't get it anymore? She said, my sister got it. And her sister was a referral from her. So I'm like, no, you should definitely have it. It was in her spam folder. So that
Yeah.
happened. But
Yeah.
and then there's other people that all of a sudden, like out of the blue, they'll go, oh, I've been enjoying your newsletter for years now. And, you never really know that they read it, but they do.
Yeah. And that's what I found too, that you have people that silently are watching, right? And then
Mhm.
something changes, or something in the newsletter sparks them to reach out and whatever it is. And oftentimes we don't have direct control over that, right? We can just be there when that change happens.
Yep.
And that's all it takes. It also illustrates one of the reasons why I sort of pivoted how and the process that I'm using is I wanted better data. I wanted to be able to see more detailed who's opening, who's clicking, what are they clicking, and so forth. And so, I think that if nothing else, it helps give you a positive feedback loop to know that even if you're not hearing from people, it's getting opened. People are looking. People are seeing your name over and over and over. And in Daphne's case, she's been in their inbox every Friday for almost 6 years. Well, depending on how long they've been in her database, but that consistency demonstrates to that audience that she can be trusted, and that she's going to be there next week, and going to be there the week after that and the week after that. And she's clearly doing something right if she's got people asking, "Hey, what happened to my newsletter?"
Yeah,
So
it's
kudos
funny.
on that.
And I remember I was hosting an open house sometime before the pandemic, and I had this couple walk in. They go, "Yeah, we've been getting your newsletter for like a couple of years now." And this was like on one of those my very first Facebook ads that I did, that they had opted in. I didn't even have their name; it was just their email address, and they had been getting it for. And they go, "Yeah, we're looking for a house just like this, and we just decided we come and meet you." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
It's
good
great.
stuff.
And Chris, I'm using Engage More CRM, and I know they're phasing that out and moving to something different. So right now, but that's what I use.
Yeah. To that end, if you're interested and want to jump on the way that I'm now doing my weekly email newsletter, it's scrolling across the bottom. You can sign up for a free account at growwithjosh.com/GR. Then email Mike. We can help you get your list cleaned, which you have to clean it if you're porting it over to there. And I would recommend that anyway. We'll help you get that clean, get it imported, and get your first template set up in there. Um, and depending on your list size, you may have to upgrade from the free trial, but you can at least get started with that free trial and check it out. And it's we've been helping 1 or 2 people a day move to that because they want some better deliverability and better intel and data.
Josh, a question: are you doing the like events one week and then market update one week and?
So this will be the 3rd week that I'm following this new process. And this week I would normally be doing events because it's the 1st week of December, technically, because Friday is December 1st. And I think I'm going to do that, but it's going to be centered around Christmas lights, which is a perfect transition, Daphne, because I was going to talk about that at 1:00 on our mastermind. Is the idea of whether it's a blog post or a page or curated information about the best Christmas lights displays in your market. And I'm going to be sending that out. So it's kind of like an event one. And then next week, the 2nd week, market update focused. 3rd week is, I don't know. I've got a plan here, but I don't even remember what my 3rd week is.
Can I be devil's advocate?
Please do.
I think if you put events and non-real estate related items throughout, you might have a better open rate, because if they're expecting events and then they're not getting it the next week,
Well, you know what? I'm glad that you played devil's advocate, because this reminds me of something that I've been meaning to bring up on the show and on some mastermind, which is something Ryan threw out a couple of weeks ago. And you're bringing me back to it, which is doing a weekly video just like that, where it's following your process. Here's some events for this weekend. Here's a quick 1-minute market update. Feature maybe a local business, and then maybe end it with a tip for home buyers and sellers, right? So it's like a regular show. It's just a weekly show that I then email out, and then I can put on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere. And it means if I structure it correctly, each one of those could be a 1-minute clip that then I can take and syndicate out or share out individually. So
I like it. That could be a second video for me and double my. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I like
Well,
it.
so now I've got to do it. So this week, what I'm going to do is it's going to be Christmas lights will be the hook. I'll do a market update. I will have I'll feature a local business, which I think I already have scheduled for that, and then you know, a little tip, which I think this week I'll talk about the down payment assistance program that we have, where people can get 5% down payment assistance. I love that. Now I just got to
That's a
execute.
great idea. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Christmas lights. I did a YouTube video 2 years ago on the Christmas lights in my area, the 5 top, neighborhoods to go. And I just discovered, like, a couple days ago, 2 new contacts in my CRM that had clicked on the map that opted into the map from my video 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, so we're going to wrap there. Some housekeeping items. At 1, we'll dig into this idea and the pivot that happened here live, which is how I'm going to do the weekly process, right? The weekly email video content that I will then email out as the newsletter content. We'll dig into other questions, things, brainstorm, etc., like we always do. Tomorrow's Tech Tip Thursday. I've got Scott Pierce with Listings to Leads as a special guest for tomorrow. We're going to do Wednesdays. We're going to try and have folks on like Daphne and sharing what's working for her on in the business. And then on Thursdays, we'll try and have people like Scott who've got great tech or tools, etc., that can help us work on the business. And then Friday, I'm going to update how things are going so far with my weekly email newsletter. I'll share open rates and example templates, things of that nature, for anyone who's curious and wants to follow along with that. Which again, if you want some help with that, you can go to growwithjosh.com/gr, get a free account there, sign up for a free account, and then email Mike at growwithjosh.com, or you can just use the chat widget bottom right at wakeup.realestate, and we can help you with that. Daphne, thanks so much for spending a great deal of time with us this morning. We'll let everybody get back to work, and we'll hope to see everybody tomorrow.
See you guys. See you, Dad.